Boss, I'm sorry that I couldn't be here today. On Thursday, you should have learned something called the pest analysis. And basically, what pest analysis is about is going to be examining what we call the external environment, things that a company can't control, right? And looking at mainly at your political, economic, social, cultural, and technological factors that will affect a company. In this case, what we really are looking for in this project is how those pest factors will affect a company moving to another country. Okay, and so your goal, okay, is to find a company and see whether or not it will be successful moving to another country. Okay, so it says growth is typically an objective for business, and they often have annual growth targets. There are a variety of ways business can grow, both internally and externally. This time will give an opportunity to validate the internal method of expanding by entering a new international market. So your company is looking to expand its operations internationally and has chosen to do so using internal growth. You and your team have been put in charge of evaluating a new international market. You will make a presentation to the executive team of your company to evaluate the potential international market for expansion. So discuss if your company is if your country is an appropriate international market for the company. Okay. What we talk about here in the discuss questions, we're looking at both the positives and the negatives. So demonstrate an effective, balanced analysis on your target country to the executive team and to your team will get promoted as well as receive a sizable year-end bonuses, meaning high marks. All right. You work in groups 3 or 4. You need to choose that now. When you're choosing your company, you want to select a business, a real business. All right. So you were mainly looking for franchises, and that's why we looked at franchises before at the beginning of this unit. And we discussed what is a franchise and why we choose a franchise. And franchises are generally easier to set up, and they're more present and more likely for success, especially to a new market. So what you need to do is choose a good company. Generally, we're looking for a food service or a retailer. So when we're looking in terms of food service, you're looking at McDonald's, you're thinking of Subway, KFC, all right, or you're thinking of a retailer, maybe H&M, Zara, Topshop, whatever. Okay, so you need to know these kinds of stores, and you in your group, you need to evaluate and create a short list of companies that you'd like to choose. Right, that's the first step. You must receive approval for your company. So most companies, if you go by those standards, I'm going to necessarily agree with. The problem is, like, certain companies that are very famous, like McDonald's and Starbucks and so forth, already have companies in countries that they're presently operating in those countries. So this is the thing: is you need to select a country. That's your next step. All right. This would involve selecting an existing product into a new geographic region or geographic market. This strategy is a form of market development. All right. So remember that your company cannot be currently selling the product in the country evaluating. So, for example, having McDonald's move to Hong Kong is not an appropriate company and country, because McDonald's already operates in Hong Kong. All right. So here are the following links that may be useful to identify and evaluate if a country is suitable for expansion. And basically what you're going to be doing is looking at the pest factors, that are affecting this company. Okay? So you're looking at, for example, political things, right? Political things that will affect, if you did, for example, McDonald's, you want to look for food laws, all right, and labor laws that concern that sort of stuff. If you're looking for, let's say, for an example, economic things, you want to look at how well the economy is going, whether there are economic booms or if there's high unemployment rates, things like this. If you want to look in terms of social cultural, do they eat hamburgers, right? That's very important. And technological is like, do they have the infrastructure and necessary to have McDonald's? So do they have electricity and proper functioning water, good roadways, good ports? All right. So those are kind of things that you need to look at in terms of making a decision whether or not, all right, this country is suitable for your company. Okay. And so each person in the group is going to be responsible for controlling one of the pest factors, at least one, and then some of you may have to share another pest factor. And that's how you're going to be evaluated. So this rubric that we presently have over here is not 100% how it's going to look like by the end of this project. We are going to be having a individual component, and that's mainly going to be concerning itself with criterion B and criterion C. And the individual component will look at in terms of your research, your investigating, and whether you're critically thinking and evaluating whether this is a good country to operate in, and that's how you conduct your pest analysis. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys more, obviously, instruction, all right, into this, and your whole objective is to create a presentation, but I'll give you more instruction on Wednesday. But what you need to do in this class is select a company, all right, maybe 2 companies, and select a country that you want to have this company operate in. And what I suggest you to do is split up the pest factor and start doing some research now, gathering just statistical data to find out certain pest factors. All right. On the Moodle, there are certain documents that have more questions that you can ask. For an example, on the Moodle. On the Moodle, if you look at pests in more detail, and under pest questions here, actually, they give you more things to go over. For example, pest questions here, is there political stability, are laws, and so forth. So they'll give you some questions that you can use to answer some of the hard questions that you need for pests. Okay? So that's how you can start. I expect a lot of work to be done this period so that you guys can be ready for the next period when I come back on Wednesday. Thank you very much for participating today, guys. I appreciate any hard work that you guys do, especially when I'm gone. I didn't expect to be gone, but this is the way the ball rolls sometimes. All right, have a good day. I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a Happy New Year.